Also, what's actually missing too is because there was some other stuff. I think they might have used cannons. They might have dug to a depth and they might have started using cannons because there's two mine shafts. They were building a subway also. Because I was like, well, maybe we can just do like something where we offload it or something. I was like, just start digging two tunnels or something. I was like, and there was actually two tunnels that went at the Panama Canal. I think they actually dug two tunnels down or something like that because we were going to use it to bust out the rest of the rock because there's this huge mountain in the way. So I think they might have been like, fire one, fire two, two cannons every day going into a rock side or something like that. And they would try and get in as far as they could. And basically, there was two tunnels that actually were going through Panama because they're like, well, we can't dig the rock. And I was like, well, can you dig a tunnel? You know, but just get a tunnel through. I was like, I tell you what, I'll pay you for a tunnel, a mine shaft. Just get going in there. See if maybe you can get some metal out of it or something. You know, do some inspections. So they were doing that. They were just, you know, basically just like, what are we doing? We're digging a tunnel. You know, just I was like, go to the right depth. You know, maybe we can hollow out something and we can get ships through there that way, you know, where it's like a tunnel that water, that ships can go through, small ships. I was like, whatever you can get, basically. You know, so they were digging the two tunnels, actually, that, like I say, they don't really mention that. And I think there was actually a tribe on top or something that was actually over where it was going to get excavated or something like that because we're going to do the sides. And so there was a tribe on top too that had lived there for like hundreds of years. And I was like, you guys are going to have to move. We're going to have to build you some new houses. And they're like, and I was like, come on, let's go. And I sent people there. And I think they eventually did move because we built them a new city because I was like, we're good. I was like, and I don't know, maybe they might have shot them or something because, you know, Nixon and some other people, and they didn't always do what I wanted them to do. I was like, build a new city. Just tell them, you know, of course they'll go to the new place. Like paying you money. So, you know, I was just paying and paying and paying and paying. And this is where like my country's budget was going, was basically where what I was doing with my metal was basically building these mine shafts and stuff like that. And it took lifetimes. And they were just, you know, but sooner or later they started to get, you know, I mean, we built mine shafts all day, and I think they actually started making a fair amount of metal, and it was actually a good mine or something. And I think they actually hit copper or something like that. They found something in there, and they were like, ooh, look at this. It's like, oh, wow, you mean it's actually going to be profitable? No way. And there was a big mine in there, too. I think they hit copper, or they found some iron deposit or something like that. There was a deposit in the Panama Canal where they found something there, and they're like, and I was like, wow, you mean I'm actually gonna make you? Like, yes, you're gonna make money, and we're paying our employees, and you're actually making a profit on top of that. I was like, no way. It's like, yeah, yes way. Anyway, there's actually trains that were built from the Panama Canal. There was a lot of metal. It would all, you know, they got about midway in there and they were like, there's iron and copper. And I was like, you never know unless you look. And basically they were actually making a lot of money, but it was all about the feeding and food and stuff like that. And of course, opium. And of course, opium shut me down for like 2 years. There's this huge opium epidemic that like, and I was like, well, I'm just going to have to wait when you sober up. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, there's an opium epidemic that went around the world and stuff like that. And everything just kind of fell flat on its face for a little while. And then they got back to work. You know, that when you know, certain people get old and they get tired and they're like, well, the old mine, we'll get down there eventually. You know, I mean, it was a lot of work. You know, it took a long time. But I had these shale pits, and I think they might have even found shale. I don't know. They found all kinds of stuff there. If they actually did the full report on the Panama Canal, I mean, it turned into this great big thing that was actually. I think they started making buildings out of the rock too. They could cut the rock or something like that into sections. Because eventually they're like, well, we can cut the rock. So, you know, so they started making stone buildings out of it and stuff like that. And there's a lot of stuff that happened over the Panama Canal. It became like this big, like, you know. And it was actually really cool because, you know, I told them to document and take lots of pictures of the whole thing to, like, you know, because it was going to be this great big huge work of art and, you know, monumental thing, because I was paying out a lot of money, but I was like, you're going to get it. Don't worry. I know you will. So they were just doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And like I said, I started making money from Panama. And plus the shipping of spice and the shipping of salt, because people needed salt and people needed spice. And plus the opium shipments that were going through there were like, I mean, people were loving the opium and loving the cocaine and loving everything else. And I was making a lot of money off of everything and hugely profitable. And everybody was like, we want to work for you. We love you. And I was like, yes, I know. I'm that good, I know. Because I had ships and all kinds of stuff and steamships, and my steamships could make the trip, no problem. And then, you know, I had the train that was going back and forth across there, and people were living in there, and it was really, really, really awesome. And I was like, I love you, my people. We're going to do this. Don't worry. And so there's 2 mine shafts that were just going along inside, and everybody, you know, and people were getting downhearted and like, we're never going to get this done. It's like, yes, you are. Don't worry. Just keep going. You'll get it. You know, so anyway, and it actually took like 150 years or so of people just working. And they had lots of babies, and there was like 5 or 6 or 10 families that actually produced like children and stuff like that. And anyway, and eventually, you know, it gets down the road, and eventually it's like, yep, I know, I own it. And now they're like, all the people are like, we want the money more than you, and we live here. It's like, hey. Yeah, whatever. I don't really know.